Welcome, Ram fans. My name is Gino Borchardt, and I'm proud to be the stadium announcer for the Texas Wesleyan Rams football team. As the voice of the Rams, it's my privilege to welcome all of you to the second edition of the Coach Joe Show and Happy Hour. We are coming to you tonight from Texas Day, Brazil, a delicious Brazilian steakhouse located in downtown Fort Worth, 101 North Houston Street. Texas Day Brazil is a proud sponsor of the Texas Wesleyan football team. Anytime the Rams go on the road this season, we will give you all the pregame details right here at Coach Joe's Happy Hour and Show on the Wednesday before game day, 5 p.m., 5 to 7 p.m., happy hour on appetizers and drinks. Let's get right to the action with the fearless leader of the Texas Wesleyan Rams, head coach Joe Prudhomme. Coach, they love you.
Well, it's early. It's early.
Coach, the Rams opened the 2019 season by traveling to Salina, Kansas last Saturday to face top-ranked Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. By way of background, Kansas Wesleyan made it to the national semifinals last year, and off that team returned 15 starters. It was a tough opener for the Rams, and they fell 48 to 24. Even though the game goes down in the loss column, what positive lessons did your team learn as they opened the 2019 campaign?
Well, let's be real about it. Let's go ahead and do the negative first. You want to do the negative first? Missed 23 tackles. That's kind of hard to win a ball game when you miss 23 tackles. Offensively, our efficiency in the first half was bad, but we never quit, which was a big, good sign to see. Also, we had a lot of freshmen playing, and the freshmen got better and better as the game went along. Our left tackle is from Alito and a freshman. He's sitting there battling an All-American early on and held his own very, very well. Really, the only time that we had issues is when we had mental bust. And anytime there was a mental mistake, then you're gonna pay for it. They had a really experienced team. The thing I liked about them was they did all the little things very, very well. They didn't make the little mistakes. We were making little mistakes, and when you make little mistakes against a team like that, they chew you up. I mean, they're that seasoned. When you play 14 games in a season, you can't help but get better. And that's what they did. They had 38 transfers to supplement their, 6 spots to fill in. So they were loaded. They were a good football team. Once we started executing, we had a lot more success. And I thought we grew up as the game went along, throughout. So, it was a good learning experience. We started 3 freshmen in the offensive line. That's quite an eye-opener to face a team like that. We had several new starters on defense. I thought they played, pretty well as the game went along. Once we settled in, things got a lot better. So I'm just hoping we grew up and matured from that.
Right, and as evidenced by that, the Rams scored 24 points in the second half, so that really helped the team.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, this week the Rams head to Houston to face the Houston Baptist University Huskies. The Huskies are an NCAA Division I football championship subdivision program. What are your thoughts as your team heads into this week's game?
Oh, we know the deck is stacked against us. There's no question about that. We're playing a team that is, they took UTEP to the wire last week. And it's a game that we scheduled 2 years ago because we needed the game, thought it would really help us get ready, and it will. The thing about it is when you play teams of this caliber and that kind of athleticism and that type of, legacy behind them, it gets you more ready for when you're going to play conference. We go into conference, we feel like everybody's going to look a little slower, a little smaller, not quite as together. So I would rather have the challenges on the front end to get us more ready for the back end, because the reality is all of our goals are still intact. We want to win conference. That's our goal, is to win conference. You don't win conference by playing really poor programs. You don't win conference by playing teams that you're going to beat and scheduled that way. You always do it by, getting teams that are tougher, that are going to make you more prepared. I go back to my old job, and when I was over at the school in East Fort Worth, we played the toughest teams we could play, won 7 state championships. Only one team was undefeated. So what does that tell you? You lose a little bit early to get you ready for the back end and win late when it really, really matters. And that's kind of what we're facing as a team that can go, and it ought to really help us with confidence.
Again, fans, we're coming to you live from Texas Day, Brazil, located in downtown Fort Worth. Texas Day, Brazil, proud sponsor of Texas Wesleyan football.
Yes, sir.
To kind of set the stage for all of our fans out there, Texas Wesleyan football has 16 scholarships. Is that right, Coach?
Well, I did the math. We used to, but they don't raise the limits as you go along, so I'm at 14 and a half.
14 and a half, and Houston Baptist has 85 full scholarships.
Yep.
So, fans, you'll have a chance to watch that game Saturday night. You go to ramsports.net. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. And when you go to ramsports.net, try to find the Texas Wesleyan football schedule, and there'll be links there to either watch the game live or to listen to the game. Again, that's ramsports.net. So, Coach, help us understand, why does Texas Wesleyan, a small NAIA school, take a game against a Division I opponent, Houston Baptist?
Well, you play them for a couple reasons. One, you get paid, and that's probably the number one reason. And when you're a struggling program starting to grow up, you have to have some funding in order to get where you need to be, or at least to where you feel like you can be. Number two, when we set the schedule 2 years ago, we wanted to play one team like this, one tough team. At that time, they weren't doing so well, but they've grown up a lot. And so you want to play one really tough one. The Kansas Wesleyan thing, what happened was originally we had a KCAC agreement, so we played their conference, so we got McPherson the first year. We were supposed to play McPherson the next year. They backed out of the contract. When they backed out of the contract in June, we needed a game, so we picked up Kansas Wesleyan, who at that time was a pretty good team and not really good. So that's why we ended up with a back-to-back. Mainly you do it so you can get some funding for your program, but also to get yourself ready to see the speed, see the things you got to see to get ready for conference. That's really the only reason.
Right, and so this weekend's game will be the final non-conference game. Is that right?
Correct.
So really we want to keep our eye on the prize, get through this weekend healthy, be competitive, and get ready for conference play. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we get through this healthy and we see the speed and we see what we need to do, what we can improve even more, we'll be in a really good shape for conference, especially because we get a bye, and then we get to go back on the road again, go Arizona, then Arkansas.
Again, Ram fans, you'll be able to watch Saturday night's game by going to ramsports.net, finding the football schedule, and there will be the links for the game where you'll be able to listen to the game or watch the game live. Coach, another thing about your program is there's a lot of travel involved, and because we're an NAIA program, so let's talk about that just a little bit. The team finished the game around 9:30, 10 o'clock Saturday night in Salina, Kansas. Did you bus home that night?
Yeah, we bussed home that night. We pulled in at 6 a.m. So that was pretty tough. Bus ride was okay. The bus driver stopped a little bit too much for my liking, but I like to roll when we go. But we pulled over a couple times, got in at 6 a.m. We started treatments at noon, and then back into it at 2 o'clock. So Sunday was tough. But that's part of college football. I mean, that's just something you have to do.
So the team will do the same thing after the game on Saturday night in Houston. They'll bus back to Fort Worth.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing. I mean, thank goodness it's not in Kansas, so it's not near as far. But we'll come back that night and start over again. And, we got a bye coming up, so we'll get a chance to rest a little bit, catch our breath.
Right, and the bye comes at a good time as you'll finish your non-conference play.
Yep.
And then that will help you get ready as you go into conference play. So besides having the break right before conference play, what other advantages do you see in having a bye week so early in the season?
Well, the good thing about it is by being right before conference, it gives us a chance to really focus on our opponents, which is Ottawa coming out. Ottawa and us had a game last year, it was the last game of the year, went right down to the wire. They're projected to be number 2 in the conference. We feel really good about that matchup, especially once we get through the non-conference play. But you get a chance to heal up, you get a chance to go back to fundamentals a little bit and really put in some things that we want to put in for Ottawa and the rest of the conference schedule.
And does the team get any time off during a bye week?
A little bit. I mean, you want to stay in rhythm and routine. Last year we made the mistake of giving away too much time off, and it took us about 3 games to recover from that. You got to stay in routine. You don't hit as much. You're not as physical in practice, but you got to stay on the routine of the practices. You got to stay in the routine of the meetings. but we will give them a little time off. We're going to do a Saturday morning from 10 to 2. We're going to work with the Eastside Police on a Back to Blue event, where we're going to work with a Somalian community. They never get to go out. They wanted to work with them. Several kids. We're going to do soccer clinics, which will be interesting to watch my guys run soccer clinics. But we're going to do that Saturday morning after we do workouts. And then the following day, that Sunday, we're going to the Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church, and they're having the Tex West football service from 10:30 to 12:30. And then the congregation, the ladies are going to cook for us after. So our guys are really, really looking forward to that. And that kind of caps our event that we had earlier when we worked with the Eastside Police Department on the Back to Blue event a couple weeks ago after we broke camp. Gave away bicycles, just helped work with the community. So this is kind of a capper for that, and we're really excited about that relationship.
Coach, that's one of the things that we're really proud of you for doing is trying to show the football team the things that they need to be doing in the community. Why is that important to you personally?
I've always felt like the more you give, the more you get back. I feel like any time that you're looking for something for yourself, it's just, it never works out. You're teaching and enabling a generation that you're going to lose, in my opinion. Our guys, when they do go and work and they do give back, it is amazing to watch their faces, how they work and how they just really enjoy it, and they get a lot out of it. But to watch the people that they get to meet and interact with and learn those life lessons, I mean, why take when you can give? Give is always the way to go, and our kids have bought into that. They're great at it, so I'm really proud of them for that, and they genuinely love to do it. They were asking what we're doing on the week off, and I told them, we're going to do a community outreach event, and when I told them who it was with and what we're doing, they kind of got fired up. The soccer thing took them aback a little bit, but, we're going to do what we're going to do. We're working with the commander over there, and that's what he put in front of us, so we're going to make it work.
All right, fans, again, we're coming to you from downtown Fort Worth, Texas Day, Brazil, where we'll be every Wednesday before every game where the Rams go on the road. As the team will take a bye next week, we also will take a bye. We'll be coming back to you from Texas Day, Brazil, Wednesday, September 18th at 5 p.m. Coach, as we begin to wrap up tonight's show, we're very fortunate to have a lot of your supporters here tonight. We encourage all of the fans out there listening to join the Ram Club today. You can go to ramsports.net, search Ram Club. The Ram Club raises money for you, the student athletes, so that they can be champions on the field, in the classroom, and most importantly in life. Coach, tell us about, so that the fans, because for all of us who support the program, it's more than just football. Can you tell some of the stories about some of your student athletes and some of the successes and some of the challenges that you faced?
You could be here all night on the successes and the challenges. There's no question. We have kids. I think we did a study on it. We're anywhere from between 65 and 70% first-generation college students on our football team. And when you have over 100 kids in the 125 range, that's a dramatic number when you think about it. And so many of them are just left to, they're told just, you're out of the house, go make it work. Well, that's where our mentor program has been really strong in helping our guys there. Like today, I had 5 kids come in that needed textbooks. So we sit down, and I have to use Ram Club money to help buy the textbooks for them. And the other things that we do with it is we have 3 study halls a week. Well, tutors don't come free. So we pay for tutors to come in and work with our guys. We work a summer program to where we can have the food for them and the things that's provided there. There's just a whole lot of needs that are met that would not be met without the Ram Club. And you're changing lives, and when you change people's trajectory of their lives, as far as where their hopes are, where they change their eyes and where they're going to go. We have a young man who's going to go off and he wants to go be a junior high teacher and stop 6. That's what he wants to do. He got off path. He was brought back in the fold. He's already said he's had to bury 4 friends this summer. But he's gonna graduate in December, and he's gonna go be a middle school teacher in Stop 6. I don't know how many of y'all have been in a middle school classroom, regardless of where it is. That takes a special person to be in a classroom with middle school kids and junior high kids, period. So I have him. I have several of them that are, hey, when your guys graduate, I want guys out of your program. And when I ask them why, I said, because I know what I'm going to get. And when I press them a little bit and say, well, what is that supposed to mean? They said, your guys have come up under you. I've known what you've done for a long time, what your values are. But not only that, y'all are struggling to make that thing work. You don't have kids that are enabled and entitled. You got guys that are going to know what it is to get them to that level, to understand what grit really is. And so I want those guys in my program. I had 7 phone calls in August to that effect. We don't have that many guys yet that are graduating, but boy, I'm going to be able to give them some good ones. I have kids that are now talking about what they're going to do with their degrees and owning their own businesses and really seeing what's out there. They credit a lot of it to the mentors because they said, people have always talked to me about it. Nobody's ever showed me. And you have people that are showing us what it's like to get to the other side. I think that is really a credit to everybody in the room. And what you do, no matter how small the gesture at times, it makes a huge impact on kids. And when you make an impact on them, you're changing not only them, you're changing future generations in the trajectory of where they will go and what they see and what they aspire to be. And that is, you say whatever you want, that makes us in this room, in my opinion, very, very rich because we get a chance to do that. We get a chance to change their lives. To see them start to believe, to see them start to open doors for ladies, to see them go and help somebody, who's struggling, pick up their books or somebody's got a load. That's different. I have faculty all the time tell me that, hey, I know who the football players are. I said, why is that? Because that's always a double edge. You don't know what that means. You don't know if that's good or bad. They said they're the ones that greet you. They're the ones that open the door for you. They're the ones that wait on you after class to open the door for you to get you out the door. I think that means a lot. You got to teach that. It's got to be intentional. There's no, hey, I told them about it. You got to grill it. You got to grind it. And a lot of people in this room have done that and made that possible. So everything that the Ram Club has done, man, my hat's off. And we appreciate everything you do for us and our kids. We really do.
All right, thank you all again for being here tonight. We appreciate you being here. Again, you can watch Saturday night's game, 7 p.m. kickoff, ramsports.net. There you'll find the links to either watch the game or listen to the game. Let's give a big round of applause to our head coach, Coach Joe. And again, fans, be sure to join us 2 weeks from tonight, Wednesday, September 18th at 5 p.m., right here at Texas Day Brazil in downtown Fort Worth for the next edition of the Coach Joe Show and Happy Hour. Rams up!